I'm Sam Willoughby, 20 years of age. I'm originally from Adelaide, Australia, now living in San Diego, USA. I got into BMX when I was 6 years old, and it was just basically a letter in the school bulletin at primary school to say come and try. And I always played AFL, Aussie Rules football, as a kid, and I did that right through till I was about 15 and did the two of them, BMX and footy, and then it kind of got to a point where I had to make a choice, and for me it was just the individual aspect of BMX. You know, I really liked the idea of it just being up to me and not having to rely on a team or a coach telling me what to do, and you know, I'm a bit of an individual, and I think with me being so serious and intense at a young age, that's what kind of persuaded me to BMX. There's always something, you know, we come here this weekend in Norway and there's a new challenge, you know, we'll go to the Worlds in England, there'll be another challenge, and that's what's so great about BMX, is it's always different. You never go to a race knowing that it's going to be easy, you know, there's always going to be a challenge, whether if it's the competition, the track, you know, you know, nature aspect with the wind or whatever it may be, there's always going to be something. My first win at a World Championships was in Junior Elite in 2008 in Taiyuan, China. So that was a pretty special moment. It was my first year in Junior Elite, and to win it was a little bit unexpected, and kind of kick-started my whole professional career. That's been the dream since I was 4 or 5 years old, you know, even before I started BMX, we used to go and watch BMX, and I always had the ice cream lid on my bike in the backyard, and it had 1W on it. So that was the goal from when I was a kid. I always wanted that 1W, and so it was pretty special to get it, especially in an elite category. Adelaide Worlds was, I went into Adelaide Worlds like not really feeling that good. I didn't have that good of a month lead up in the US. I didn't do that as good as I wanted to at some races, and I was a little bit down, and I think it was kind of what I needed. I went home and hadn't been home for a long time, went back to Adelaide, you know, was with the family, and it was just cool to have all them people in like my hometown where I grew up, and it kind of just lit a fire under me, and I got hungry again, and still to this day, I think that's probably one of the best I've ever ridden, and to win in front of my home crowd and get my second junior world title in a row, and something that no one's ever done, and to do it in Adelaide, and just having, you know, school friends, people from the football club, just people that never see what I do, and it was really cool. South Africa Worlds was my first one in elite, and I was pretty excited. You know, I'd already won a few elite races in the US and a couple of supercrosses, so it was kind of just another race, really. It wasn't too daunting, I guess. And I got through the day, and I qualified first in the time trial and was feeling pretty good, and got through the day, won most of my races, and got to the main, which was always good, and didn't really get a very good start in the final, and I caught back up and ended up crashing in the first corner, so I finished 7th, I think. And it's hard to accept, you know, you put so much time and effort into this sport, and it's won or lost in the split second.
Can he stay in the mix? Sam Willoughby's out there. Red, white, and black on attack.
For me, I always set out in 2011 and said to myself that it was going to be a learning year, and I experimented with a few things in training, and just kind of tried to learn about myself, you know, because I think I kind of got a lot of success at a young age, and it was all, you know, I was running on hype for a while there, and it was great, but, you know, it comes to a point where you got to stop and learn and go backwards, so to speak, to go forward. So I think that's what 2011 was for me. You know, I took a step back, learned a lot, and I kind of have a bit of a switch, you know. That's what people notice about me when we're at home and in the hotel room and whatever else. The people that haven't stayed with me before, they're like, I had no idea you're like this, you know. I'm a bit out there at times, and I like to have a good time and joke around and enjoy myself, but when it's you know, go time and we're up on the hill, I'm able to flick that switch, and I think that's pretty important, you know, in all athletes. I think all successful athletes have that switch, and it's something that's you got to have, I think, so you don't burn out on it, you don't overthink it. Ready to go after some of these things that I haven't got yet, you know, World Championships, Olympics, all them kind of things. So I could tell at Chula Vista my head was back in it, and I wanted to be there, and ended up coming out of a second, and I was really happy, you know, that it was I think, perfect for me. It was something I can build on, but also a consistent good finish. Now it's just really trying to top up a little bit and just kind of hold on for world champs, and I feel like I'm in a good spot. You know, I'm feeling good on my bike and feeling comfortable on the Supercross hill again. You know, I got a little bit more time on it this year. I'm coming over to Europe prior to the world champs and getting some access to a hill in France and in Holland, which has been good. I think going in, I'm doing everything I can, so we'll just keep doing that and just put that game face on Worlds Day and give it everything I got, and hopefully it'll be enough to come out on top.